Mate, g'day. So what does Vladimir Putin hope to achieve by destroying energy infrastructure and limiting access to gas?
Well, it's about attacking the home front, both of Ukraine and Ukraine's supporters in Western Europe. He is attempting to erode support for the for the Ukrainian war effort, for the Ukrainian front line, by making life really horrible for everyone supporting them. And it's one of the most powerful geopolitical tools that he has. It's basically energy warfare, basically, is what he's doing here. And he hopes that either Ukrainians will lose their morale and resolve, or that the West will decide that the cost of supporting Ukraine to the amount that they are is too high, and that will dial back their level of support, which is so vital for Ukraine's ability to fight off Russia.
So just how much damage has been done to Ukraine's energy infrastructure?
A huge amount. They're firing missiles at it, basically. We were expecting, as the war began, there to be cyber attacks on Ukraine's energy infrastructure. The Russians have tried that in the past, but it seems like they're just going the old-fashioned route of blowing up power stations. Ukraine has a system which lots of Europe has, which is called cogeneration. So their power stations generate electricity, obviously, but also generate heat, which is then sent through pipes into the city in order to be used for central heating. So attacking one of those plants destroys not only the electricity supply for the city near it, but also the central heating system, which is makes them particularly vulnerable. Ukrainians are attempting to adjust to this. You might have seen in the last few days that Ukrainian restaurants in Kyiv have started having two separate menus. One is for when the power is on, and one is for when the power is off. They've got separate dishes available that can be cooked without electricity, and they're bringing in live musicians in order to provide a bit of an atmosphere. The Ukrainian Philharmonic Orchestra, bizarrely, is still performing with battery lights. So look, they're trying to make their way through it, but the situation is that Ukraine gets very cold in winter, and millions of people shivering in their homes is going to have some pretty catastrophic consequences, Joe.
And how reliant is Europe on Russia for gas?
Yeah, look, very reliant. This is what we based our most recent episode of the podcast on, of the history of how it was kind of a strategy by Western Europe, and particularly West Germany, and now the Federation of Germany, to basically intertwine their economy with Russia by relying on Russia for gas. Russia would rely on Germany for the revenue that gas supplies. And the theory from West Germany, back to their Chancellor Willy Brandt back in the 60s and 70s, was that if they intertwined themselves enough, then they would never get into conflict. That was the theory for 4-5 decades nearly. It is only now being proven wrong, but the Germans were very insistent, despite decades of warnings from the Americans in particular, that this would work. Unfortunately, it hasn't really. So Germany is massively reliant on Russia for gas, and now that they don't have access to Russian gas, they've been trying to wean themselves off it, and Russia has decided to stop supplying it. That is one of the main things that is driving the increase of energy all around the world. We're paying the price of that as well.